This Organized Chaos video is brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. Well, I'm probably going to wrap up the live stream here. I see a request for Clownfish TV, the recent She-Hulk. Well, Clownfish TV's been popping up a lot, so I'm probably going to go ahead and let you go. And go ahead and do that.
Hopefully we show more of the wife, because he wasn't showing the wife that much. I wonder if she's still alive.
I don't know. Well, yeah, I know Clownfish TV gets a little boring. We'll see how this goes, though.
Oh, yeah, they are boring. I saw them yesterday. They were insufferable.
All right.
Well, then I'll see you.
Have a good one. All right, Clownfish TV. Oh, yeah, because I had Obi-Wan Kenobi open on this. So, boom. That's probably it, but let's double check. The MCU is real. Okay, anybody who uses the term MCU is cringe. Just automatically. You're just fucking cringe. I'm sorry.
There's still time left to back Crimson Wren. Go to shopclownfish.com. Also check out the new
Clownfish stuff.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here.
Taki75. The most depressing thing is that left-wing critics here in Greece are starting to embrace anti-woke rhetoric, e.g. Obi-Wan Kenobi was bad because Disney made Reva the central character. Ooh. Well, I will say this. There are anti-woke and anti-SJW leftists, and it's a weird perspective to take. I don't fully understand their logic. Because it's like, okay, we had to fight against SJW stuff, but then, like, once you have a victory, like, let's say you win and all the SJW stuff is defeated and we don't represent any more media. How's that a win for the left? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And,
well, his wife is here. We'll see how this goes.
Wouldn't you know, the mainstream media is a little slow, like the...
Okay, here's a question for the chat. Answer yes or no, and just answer as soon as I ask it here, because there's a delay. So, did these guys actually watch She-Hulk or not? Put your guesses in the chat.
Usually are.
Yes.
They're finally admitting, get this guys, they're finally admitting after years of denying it that the MCU is actually a thing.
Uh-huh.
Multiple articles coming out this week.
All at the same time.
Really, it's actually a thing. So they're calling it the MCU. Is that what they're doing? Is that what they're doing?
At the same time, as if on cue, that the MCU exists, that the future is female for Marvel, and just remember a couple of months ago, guys, there is no such thing as the MCU. You know, you're just a bunch of racists and bigots and misogynists.
Well, yeah, I think the idea of calling it the MCU is fucking stupid. Yeah, of course that's a racist and misogynistic point. Hold on, let me make sure the chat's not updating on the screen like it's supposed to. But yeah, it's entirely a misogynistic point to take. Because, like, what, are women not allowed in the MCU? Since when is the MCU mean, like, only male characters? So now, because we have more women characters, it has to be the MCU. And how's the MCU even relevant when 2 out of the 3 MCU movies this year star middle-aged white guys?
And homophobes and haters, and you just don't like strong women and yada yada, and you're imagining things. There is no MCU, and now they're literally coming out and saying, yeah, there's an MCU, but it's a good thing.
You know what people want? People want characters that have...
What is this article? Start Facts? I've never even fucking heard of this.
Female happen to be female, but they're good characters, and that there's and basically mixed cast. They don't want all women. They don't, like, no more than they supposedly want all men. But I guarantee you, this is not going to go well.
No, this isn't going to go well, and it's interesting because a couple of days ago, Grace Randolph actually said, she's like, hey, I hate the term MCU, but she's like, it's getting really, really hard to deny that I mean, it's so freaking obvious that Marvel is replacing all of their male heroes with female heroes.
They're the exact same character. I mean,
it's not the exact same character. It's usually characters that are, just inspired. Like She-Hulk. Like, you can't argue She-Hulk and Hulk are the same character. You can't argue, well, that's the thing. Like, Jane Foster Thor isn't even a thing right now in the MCU. It's still regular Thor. And yeah, okay, so, like, characters are taking on the mantle, which is something that has existed in comic books for pretty much as long as comic books have existed. So, like, it really seems like your issue isn't, that these are new characters. Because characters taking on the mantle happens all the time. It seems like the only difference that you guys now have a problem with is that these characters taking it over are usually women or minorities.
well, I mean, like they're like the same hero.
Basically, yeah, they're all like an understudy of, or a one-to-one replacement of, or just a gender-bent version of the Avengers. We're gonna talk about this because this is just so funny. I mean, this is like, I cannot believe that the media has been lying about this for the last 2.
I can't believe you guys are actually talking about the MCU as if it's a serious fucking thing. Since when does the MCU not allow women? Jesus.
2 or 3 years now, and all of a sudden, as if on cue, there must have been some new programming downloaded. They're all like, "Oh yes, the MCU is real, but it's fine."
You know what? If they're actually saying, "Hey, the MCU is real," then you know what? That's fucking based of them. You guys don't like the MCU? Fucking cope. I swear to God.
It's fine, guys. It's okay. Don't believe the bigots on the YouTubes.
And then when it doesn't do well, because I mean, as a woman, even we don't want all the characters just one-to-one gender bent, and they're going to be like, it's because of misogyny. Misogyny is why Marvel's failing.
Yeah,
It's
so
like, I'm not going to go see it either. I'm a woman.
yeah, let's talk about this.
Good for you, but lots of people will want to see it. So, okay. Like, I pointed that out when I watched Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, a movie that I did not love. If you see the way I talk about it on Fandom Initiative, the way I talk about it on my podcast, I did not love that movie. I had issues. But that theater, people were excited to see Shuri as Black Panther, and they were excited and cheering when Ironheart came on in her full armor. So don't give me this shit that people don't care about these characters. People care about these characters. People care about Miles Morales, Spider-Man. People care about Sam Wilson, Captain America. People care. You may not care, but other people do. And you're not the only person in existence.
Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Almost 281,000 subs. 281 subs. Yeah, we lost a lot overnight. I don't know what happened. Yep.
YouTube does lots of purges where they clear out bots.
They're all bots. None of you guys are real. Sorry. No, thank you so much
No, you probably still have bots. It happens.
for the support. We do talk about Marvel. We talk about pop culture. We basically talk about whatever interests us that day. So this channel is kind of all over the place in terms of topics. But this is interesting because we haven't really gone hard in the paint on the MCU discussion. Mm-hmm. Like MCU.
God, I hate that MCU is taking on. And honestly, if Marvel decides to take on that term and just says, yeah, you know what, it's the MCU, they're all going to be women fucking cope, that'd be kind of based.
We haven't really done that, but the term has been thrown around for a couple of years now because it became very obvious looking at the schedule that pretty much every Avenger is going to be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, pop counterculture brought up an issue. I have criticized She-Hulk, and no one has called me a sexist. My God. But I must be a sexist if I criticize She-Hulk, right? No, I'm pretty sure I have to be shit, I'm a sexist, guys. I'm sorry. I have issues with She-Hulk. I must be a sexist. No, that is the argument they love to throw out there. It's ridiculous.
with the female counterpart, right? Would you put this? You put this.
Oh, I was joking. It was nothing to do with that. But yeah, I was saying we always talk about the Bechdel test, and the Bechdel test, for those who don't know, is you fail the Bechdel test if you have two women talking, and because you can have two women talking about another girl, and they can be lesbians, and that would fail too. But no,
that would pass the Bechdel test.
It's about only about men. So I just joked. I'm like,
well, yeah, that's the point. A lot of media fails the Bechdel test, which is the point. That's an issue. more stuff should be passing it.
Forget the Bechdel test of instituting the geeky test. You can disregard any criticisms of fans if they bring up, and this is media, brings up men, toxic masculinity, and misogyny, because that's their excuse for every damn thing.
Yeah, and they already are doing that. So let's go out and read, the articles we're talking about here, and then go out to CBR, because CBR is...
MCU had strong women long before Phase 4, yes. But how many were getting their own movies? I believe Captain Marvel is the only pre-Phase 4 movie that starred a woman. So that is an issue. We're talking about, 19 movies and only one stars a woman? That's an issue.
Already making excuses for it. Of course they are. So this article, MCU full-on mode. Every Avenger seems to have a female version now. It's a new era.
It's all because of that stupid tweet.
I don't
It's all coming. Yeah, that's why they're all doing it, because someone put this tweet up, and that's what
Heroic Hollywood
that's
put
what
this
it's all
up. Yeah.
them.
It's a new era, as fans note that basically every OG Avenger.
The Pop Counterculture. The geeky sparkles test is, did Nerdrotic say it? And how can I rephrase it? Yep. We need to look at, Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic, maybe even Ben Shapiro, see what they're saying and rephrase it so we aren't doing the same thing, but we are.
Avenger seems to have some sort of female version. What?
Nobody's mentioned this before. Oh my God.
Nobody.
Just one person put that on Twitter now, and now it's noteworthy, even though people like us have been mentioning it forever.
Well, I think with the difference being that this wasn't brought up as a negative. It was just pointed out that, hey, this is a thing that exists. You guys scream at it as if it's a negative. I kind of don't care. Number one, Captain Carter is never going to be the main MCU Captain America. It's just, she's not. She's an alternate reality version. Mighty Thor, Jane Foster Thor, spoilers for Thor Love and Thunder, Jane Foster Thor is dead. And what? I want to say the Doctor Strange one. I want to say her name's... Is it Clea? Help me out, chat. But, she's not really been established, and Doctor Strange is still very much present. So, he's not been replaced. As to whether or not Kate Bishop will just take over and fully for Hawkeye and he'll retire, or if they'll just continue co-starring and stuff, I'm not sure. But, this was just pointed out that, hey, there's female counterparts to lots of MCU characters. Which happens in comic books. There are usually counterparts to characters. Just frequently, you have a transition from, Barry Allen to Wally West. Fun fact, in the comic book, Wally West was a white guy. So it's usually transitions from white guys to white guys. And all they're doing is transitioning them to women and minorities. And since they've started doing this, their sales have gone up. So that's why they're doing this. They're doing this for the almighty dollar.
And we saw this coming years ago. They're going to kill off...
Okay, her name is Clea. Okay.
Replace, belittle...
They tried it in the comics first, and it didn't go well.
Remember? Yeah.
It went very well in the comic books. Not all of them went well, but a lot of them went well. Comic sales are up. They don't like to talk about that. Comic sales are actually up.
2015 to 2017 was a really bad time for Marvel Comics. In fact, it was so bad.
2015 to 2017, yeah. Have you seen the 2021 numbers? They're killing it.
That mainstream media outlets were writing obituaries for Marvel Comics, and it led to the firing of Axel Alonso because they did this. They literally replaced every character with a stand-in. Now, it wasn't always a female version. It might just be a younger race-bent version or,
Or an LGBTQ version.
Right. But they basically replaced all the main heroes with stand-ins. And it was it's Marvel now. And it went over as well as freaking Poochie from...
Okay. So like I said, the sales are going up. So this argument means nothing. They're talking about 2015 to 2017 numbers. Who gives a shit? 2021 numbers are killing it. But also, like I said, they've been changed. Characters have been passing off the mantle forever. They're just, instead of passing it off to other white men, they're passing it off to women and minorities. Because, hey, look at those comic book sales. They're going up because we're expanding our fan base. Let's keep on doing that.
From The Simpsons, and they had to walk a lot of it back. They had to have a big event where the classic heroes return, but then when they return, they had to drag him through the shit again, of course, especially Captain America, man. He can't catch a break.
Superheroes don't usually take a break. They usually have it rough. Not a whole lot of superhero comic books are about them having a good day. They usually have bad days in their issues. That's the point.
But yeah, so everybody seems to have a one-to-one female replacement.
Though, yeah, I mean the She-Hulk.
But you didn't have an issue when like characters like Barry Allen and Wally West transitioned. But now you have an issue because they're women. I wonder what the difference is.
Oh yes, but She-Hulk's been around for years. But Black Widow was a woman.
Yes, well, they need to have a man.
Yes, that's the only thing that makes it fair.
Well, she ate the men, so.
But I'm just saying, you brought up.
Okay, if you want to make it fair, so what? In the first 3 phases, I want to say there's 19 movies. 1 stars a black man and 1 stars a woman. So that means, 17 movies starring white guys? So they need at least 17 movies starring not white guys. Then it's fair. And in fact, I could even go further and say, actually women are half the population, so they need 17 movies starring women. And actually, minorities are this percentage of population, so we need, fucking 25% to star minorities. We could take it even further. The fact is, Kevin Feige's even stated this. We already have lots of white male characters. Let's introduce a little bit more diversity. And you know what my response to that is? Cool.
If you can take male characters and make them female, I can't take female characters and make them male.
Yeah, they should do that. They should be,
and and they have this one. Well, they have Agent
Carter.
Do we know they're never going to do that? They probably will. We'll have to see how it plays out, though.
Carter was a Captain Britain or whatever.
Yeah, so that
was in an alternate universe.
Yes, exactly. It's an alternate universe. So let's move on. Sam Wilson is Captain America.
Yeah. And that kind of makes it. But, I mean, they're not bringing up America Chavez, who kind of was a gender-swapped Captain America-esque stand-in.
No, she's not. She's completely different. Holy shit. You don't know anything if you make America Chavez as a gender-swapped Captain America. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's true. But I'm thinking, Ms. Marvel.
I know. America Chavez is famous for throwing around her shield, while Captain America is famous for his dimension-hopping abilities. The fuck are you talking about?
It was her own thing.
Yeah. But yeah, we had Jane Foster. We've got Ironheart, which they're gonna talk about that. She-Hulk. Kate Bishop, who I actually thought they handled pretty well in the show because she was insufferable in the comics, and I'm like, I'm not gonna. But I like
how this is a She-Hulk video, and we're like a third in. They haven't really brought up She-Hulk.
I actually like the actress that plays her. She was in Bumblebee, and I thought she was pretty good. And
I guess in their defense, the title is "The MCU is Real." Media finally admits it, but She-Hulk thumbnail, yeah.
So it was okay, but I mean, again, it's like. Yeah, they had female versions in the comics, but I'm like, you've literally just gender bent the entire Avengers roster. And
yes, they have. Cope.
And at some point, I think it's going to bite them in the ass at the box office because
comic book sales are up. We'll have to see how the box office goes. I'm sure you guys are going to bring up, the sales on movies are going down, and it doesn't have anything to do with COVID. But, they're rebuilding as well. So we have to see. But comic book sales are doing really well doing this.
It's like, I was talking before that they should have an Avengers team and call it the Replacements and just have all the replacement Avengers.
There you go.
Replacements.
I mean, they have the new Avengers. They've had variations on stuff like that for a while. I mean, the Thunderbolts were actually introduced as a form of replacement Avengers after most of the Avengers were killed. So the Thunderbolts came on scene. So yeah, that happens. They don't call them their replacements, but yeah, no, that's actually a thing, dude. And it can work if you write it well.
Symbol.
With a little female symbol afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, here we have to do the.
You know what? If it would make you cringe, then cool. I live for people like you guys cringing because it's ridiculous. You guys just grow the fuck up. Women exist and they're allowed to be superheroes too. Deal with it.
The defense here. However, it's not a signal that OG Avengers fans can pound the alarm that their favorite heroes are going woke. As some fans pointed out, the lineup of new female characters is actually a compilation of different characters from various teams. Yeah, guys, you're making excuses. Look, hot takes, the Daily...
Oh, I don't want to look at this because this is evidence against our point, so we're just going to, click through it real fast, guys. We're not going to look at this. I love that approach. Interesting.
Beast. Black Panther Wakanda Forever sets up Marvel's future, and it's female.
Yes, because it went so well for Star Wars.
It went so well for Star Wars, right? So here we go. Let's talk about Riri Williams, who again is one of those insufferable comic book characters.
Our son kept watching it in the clip, and he's like, he's usually one that doesn't like really get too upset about that kind of thing, about changing it. And he's even like, she's just annoying as heck. He's like, she's just annoying.
Did you guys actually watch the movie? I don't recall her being annoying. I don't recall having many thoughts on her, but like I said, the theater cheered when she showed up. So people care about her, and they dug it. So I have my own personal opinions, but like obviously there's a lot of people who like Riri Williams. Just because you don't doesn't mean you're the only people in the world.
Annoying, obnoxious.
Yeah, so I mean, now you're basically replacing Tony Stark, and now
good luck with that one.
Good luck with that one. The entire MCU was built on Robert Downey Jr.'s performance as Iron Man. His lack of being there in the MCU, his presence is missed.
Well, true, but they can't keep him there forever, right? They're not going, even if, let's say they reboot the entire MCU, they're not going to reboot it with Iron Man. They would almost certainly want to take a different angle with it. Because he's not going to be there forever. Even if they decide to pay Robert Downey Jr. $100 million a movie, which, by the way, they're never going to do that. I think they got up to like $20 million a movie for his last few ones, which is huge payday for him. But yeah, eventually something's going to happen and Robert Downey Jr. is not going to be there. I don't want to get too negative, but we all know something might happen. Robert Downey Jr. won't be there to play it forever. So we got to move on and figure out what we're going to do after that. And that's what they're doing.
It's very noticeable that he's not there. He needs to be there, I think. But, replacing him again with a brand new, to this audience, to the movie audience, brand new character is going to be a gut punch, I think, for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. So what? Replace him with an already existing character? Because, War Machine's there, too. I don't any character you introduce is going to be brand new. I don't know how you introduce an already established character. You have to introduce new characters because that's an introduction. What the fuck? Now,
I'm not saying Wakanda Forever is bad. I didn't watch Wakanda Forever, but I'm just saying long term, replacing every major character in the MCU is...
Taki75, RDJ, and Chris Evans will probably return in Secret Wars. We will have to see. I'm not confident of that. But it's not impossible either. I could see them, Marvel saying, hey, we want these cameos. Here's a fuck ton of money.
It's a terrible effing idea. But beyond...
It didn't work in the comics either.
It did not work in the comic.
Yes, it did. You don't want to look up those numbers, though, because they are go against everything you're saying. But those numbers, they fight against you. Instead, you want to look at these, news outlets that, what? This is called Obsessed? I've never even heard of these fucking news outlets they're looking into. What the fuck? If you want entertainment news, you're looking at Hollywood Reporter, you're looking at Variety, you're looking at Deadline. These are super reliable entertainment sources. And I feel like these guys just so rarely ever bring up something like that. They almost always go to these, cringe ones. Bounding into Comics comes up a lot with these guys, and Bounding into Comics is just anti-woke garbage.
Right? It didn't work in the comics, but beyond that, they have been saying for years that the MCU wasn't a thing. It's not a thing, guys. There is no MCU, but maybe...
Well, it's almost like there's still plenty of male characters, and 2/3 of the movies that came out this year star middle-aged white guys. So, maybe it's not so much a thing, and maybe you guys are just whinging for no goddamn reason.
There should be an MCU.
No, okay, here's the kicker. I'm a woman. I don't want to see the MCU. I don't. I like that there's...
Okay, cool. You represent one woman out of millions and millions. Are you going to speak for all of them? Every single one? Because I'm willing to bet you a lot of them are going to disagree with you.
There's strong characters that happen to be female. I like the fact there's strong characters that happen to be male. But a lot of women go to see these movies.
Christopher Baker, if the MCU introduced Spider-Gwen and Clownfish here would be overly triggered. I'm sure they all would. And I'll be blunt, I would dig a Spider-Gwen movie. A Ghost Spider movie? I wonder what they would call it. Because Ghost Spider's more correct, but Spider-Gwen's more recognizable. But yeah, no, I'd fucking dig something like that. And they're doing multiversal stuff now, so like they could do that. I think the only reason why Marvel wouldn't want to do that, because that's a property squarely in Sony's field.
Is because they actually like the male characters and the female characters, but they don't want them changed any more than men.
Yeah. Sparkles? Whatever. Yeah, she's every woman. She is all the women, just like Rey is all the Jedi. She is all the women.
Men do.
No, because a lot of times women who are predominantly straight, let's be honest, right? They like the eye candy.
They do. No more than when a man ogles a woman, it's how dare you. But yeah, it's true. But women like the characters too. Like I like some of the characters that were men. I don't want to see female versions of them.
So the argument is they shouldn't be replaced because women want eye candy. I mean, if you really want to go that route, you can. I'm not really going that one with you, but the fuck, man, really? And
the thing is, what'll happen is it'll be men who will tell me that I'm not a woman enough. I'm not feminist enough, that I have to love this because, they're women and I'm a woman and I can't relate to characters outside of my own gender.
Yeah, this is, so CBR.
Of course you can relate to characters outside your own gender, but it's been pretty much proven it's easier for you to relate to characters that more resemble you. It just is. It's our dumb human brains. But let's go ahead and put that aside and say it doesn't matter. You relate equally to all characters. Okay, cool. Even if that was a thing, you should still have more representation. Why? Because why do white guys get all the opportunities? Why? Why? What? There's no argument. Even if our brains were just like, oh, we don't care. We just don't care. I'm 100% capable of, 100% relating to a white guy. Everybody's equal. So does that mean no one else gets the opportunity to work in movies? Just white guys? It's such a flawed logic, and it's so dumb.
R chimes in too. Again, we're talking all these articles discussing, in lockstep, the MCU is real. Finally, after denying it for years, the MCU is real. And immediately, the very first paragraph, whether it's the preemptive review bombing of She-Hulk or the numerous angry YouTube videos condemning female superheroes, no, they're condemning poorly written superheroes, male or...
No, it's primarily female superheroes. It's a trend. You noticed it. Like, when you're diving into the stuff like I have, you notice this trend. They always seem to focus on the female superheroes. Notice they aren't really focusing on Andor. But boy, oh boy, they focused a lot on fucking Reva for some goddamn reason.
Or female.
Yeah.
Anyway, the franchise is...
Okay, so lots of people are asking if Geeky Sparkles is Grace Randolph. I want to go ahead and say no. Geeky Sparkles has a much better voice than Grace Randolph. I have a terrible voice. I have a better voice than Grace Randolph. I feel comfortable saying that. And I hate going after someone's voice. I hate it. Because I hate my voice. But I apologize to Grace Randolph for that. But yeah. It's not untrue. Sorry.
Focus on women has even gotten it dubbed derisively as the MCU. What these takes miss, though, is that the MCU has always featured powerful female characters.
Yeah, well, that's what we've been saying. That's what makes you mad. It's like, yeah.
But how many have had their own movies? Like, none. That's the problem.
Well, that's like Kevin Smith saying, well, Tila was always important to He-Man, which we kept mentioning. It's like they're acting like the fans didn't already know that. The fans knew that. They just don't like your versions of these characters.
Yeah, so this is going to be, now they're playing defense. Like, well, the female-led movies always do as well as, and I'm
No, they don't.
So now they're making a contest between.
Well, yeah, most of those have been post-COVID. COVID hasn't done as well. Like, essentially you have two movies that have been COVID immune. Top Gun Maverick and, what was the other one that really... Oh, yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home. That's it. Nothing else. Everything else has been tempered down by COVID. Doctor Strange 2 almost made $1 billion. I think if it wasn't for COVID, it would have made $1 billion. I don't even think that's a hot take at all. I think it would have easily made $1 billion. Yeah, everything's still getting tampered down by COVID. It's getting better. I think Avatar 2 is really going to open up the market quite a bit. But yeah.
Between male-led movies and female-led movies.
I like the ones where there's a mixed cast. Why can't you just do that?
Yeah, that would have been nice.
They've been doing that. What the fuck are you talking about? Even the female-led movies have a mixed cast. Dude, what the fuck?
Nice, right? I mean, here's the thing. When you replace characters, when you're...
Jurassic World Dominion did make $1 billion, Robert Hamilton. But I think it would have made more if it wasn't for the pandemic. I don't think that one was pandemic immune, although it is one of the few to make $1 billion.
Replace superheroes. And they've always done this in the comics. Like, I mean, going back to the 60s and 70s, they've swapped out characters, Marvel characters here and there. But they've never really, switched everybody out at once. And that was the big mistake they made in 2015, was they decided they were going to switch everybody out at once.
Go down here.
Okay.
The 8 female-led properties so far. Now, remember, these are supposed to be doing better as well as male. Agent Carter, which was for TV. Jessica Jones, which was Netflix and wasn't even, Disney. Captain Marvel. Agent Carter wasn't Disney either, I don't think.
So I'll go ahead. I see Andor, because I didn't just mention Andor. So Andor's coming up. Andor, I need to catch up on. I'm a couple episodes behind, but I am loving that series. I know it's not doing amazing in the ratings, so these guys aren't talking about a whole lot, which, gotta milk that YouTube algorithm. But Andor is fantastic. Check it out.
Was it? Captain Marvel, which, that's up for debate. Eternals, which bombed. Black Widow, which didn't do that great. WandaVision, which did okay because it was the first show. Yeah. Ms. Marvel, which did not do well.
Yep.
And She-Hulk, which also didn't do that great.
Oh, She-Hulk did really well. I know, the algorithm wasn't good to Miss Marvel, so I'm not sure what the viewership was. WandaVision did well. Black Widow was their first post-pandemic movie that was released on Disney Plus simultaneously. That being said, it was a pay-per-view on Disney Plus. Not quite pay-per-view, but you could pay for premiere access and have it early. So that almost certainly hurt its numbers. Yeah, Eternals came out kind of weak. Captain Marvel was fucking huge. Jessica Jones was fairly popular when that came out. Agent Carter definitely had some popularity for the first season. But yeah, once we get to the post-pandemic stuff, pandemic affected numbers with very few exceptions.
That's their example?
Yeah, so, I mean, here's the thing. Then they're trying to be like, hey, the first 8 male-led movies, some of them didn't do as well either. But I'm like, yeah, but they build up. What's going on, though, is...
Yeah, and they're building up with the female-led stuff. Fun fact, they haven't finished building because lots of these are first entries. It's like, oh yeah, they built up. Yeah, they haven't finished building it up. My God, Jesus Christ.
Marvel, the MCU has been a buildup over the last, decade plus, and now because of them switch, I believe a big component of it is switching these iconic characters out for stand-ins, male or female, doesn't matter, they're still stand-ins. It's declining rapidly,
Well,
it's declining. She-Hulk did quite well. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is breaking November records. In fact, let me dig this up because I think this is kind of a cool thing to look at. Oh, my mouse died on me. Okay. Give me one moment. We're going to look at these numbers real fast. Oh, that's not what I want to go to. Hold on. Let me dig up some numbers. Okay, so I want to take a moment out here to just point out something to you guys, because I think this is fairly important. So here's Black Adam. Came out about a month ago. Maybe not quite a month ago. 3 weeks ago. Something like that. It has made $353 million so far. So, pretty good. Pretty good. It's not breaking records, but it's doing pretty well. So how's Black Panther Wakanda Forever doing? It came out last weekend. How's that doing? 400 million. The female-led Black Panther Wakanda Forever has already made 400 million. Came out last fucking weekend, 6 days ago. It's already destroying Black Panther or Black Adam at the box office. Easily. It's not even close. So this argument, they're killing the MCU by doing this stuff. No, they're not. No, they're not. It's already at 400 million. It's doing incredibly well. This is just such bullshit. And they're like, we're not going to research stuff. We're just going to say shit. That's their MO. That's all they do.
People are just tired of it.
They're tired of it.
They had a connection with the original characters.
Yep.
Now you're changing them, and they're like, well, I don't want to. No, I'm tired. I don't want to do it.
It's kind of like when you watch a TV show and they inexplicably switch out main characters, and they always bring in a character like the character that left.
Yes, 400 million in less than a week is a massive success. Yes, absolutely. They're talking about how it's dying. It's not fucking dying. It's breaking November records.
Kind of, sort of, but not quite. One of the most ridiculous examples, I'm a huge fan of Northern Exposure. Love Northern Exposure, right? But the show was literally about Joel Fleischman, Dr. Joel, for those of you who don't.
Well, I actually brought this up on Pop Counterculture's chat. Do you guys remember that super woke movie about, like, this native tribe fighting off some colonizers? It was super woke and obnoxious. I don't know if you guys remember. It was called fucking Avatar. Just throwing that out there.
I don't know the show. It's New York doctor goes to Alaska. Hilarity ensues. It's a good show. You should watch it. Anyway, the show is literally about him and filtering this quirky Alaskan town through his New York sensibilities. And he left the show and they brought in another doctor. But it doesn't work because it wasn't about just a doctor in Alaska.
A lot of shows do that, and then they just...
Taki75, when Captain Marvel grossed $1 billion, the man babies were saying that Disney cooked books. Yes. No, it's obnoxious. It's like, go woke, go broke. Well, how about all these fucking woke movies that have made serious bank? Oh, well, those don't count. Oh, they bought tickets for Captain Marvel. What's your evidence? Nothing. Captain Marvel did well because it was between Infinity War and Endgame. Maybe, but you know what? It still fucking did well. Ant-Man and the Wasp was in between Infinity War and Endgame. It didn't do nearly as well. Why is there a difference between the two? Their arguments don't make sense.
They died. Yeah.
They're like, nobody claimed that Hulk or Thor were flawed because their leads were male. No, they just were shitty movies.
They weren't very good.
I mean, especially...
Thor was good.
Okay. Making sure everything's still going. It looked like the stream locked out on me for a second, but it looks like I'm actually still good. So never mind.
Thor 2, I was thinking.
Oh, Thor 2 is
terrible.
But,
Dark World was not good. The Hulk movies were not good. And no one said that, no one said it was because they were male, because it was just a given. The problem with, and then they're saying because of She-Hulk and Captain Marvel. The problem is, you guys are like, your logic is flawed, because you're basically like, you're the ones out there saying people hate the characters because they're female. That's you guys saying.
No, you guys are saying you hate the characters because they're female, when the fact is people love these characters. They do. Just because you don't love these characters doesn't mean there aren't other people. Fun fact, these two, Geeky Sparkles and Neon? Is it Neon? It might just be Neon. These guys do not represent the entire population of the world, but they're acting like they do. And it's obnoxious. All these anti-woke guys do this. They act like they represent everybody, and they fucking don't.
Saying that they're flawed, but the problem is when you have these characters, when you're a woman, somehow you're just basically a male. If Shagam character is a male character, just with tits, and She-Hulk wasn't as likable as she was in the comic. No. And Captain Marvel might have been good if you hadn't had Brie Larson cast as Captain Marvel. She did.
Oh my god. Let's get some Brie Larson hate in this. We gotta hit all the anti-woke points. Get that Brie Larson hate. Do we want to hit Ghostbusters 2016 before we are out? I don't think they really covered Last Jedi either. We need to hit these points before we sign out, guys.
She just was wooden and wasn't good. And she was like a side character in her own movie.
Yeah, it's interesting. They have Charlize Theron, isn't she, in Doctor Strange? She actually would have made a better Captain Marvel, I think, than, but what?
Dude, Captain Marvel, like, I have issues with how that's written, but, like, Brie Larson's a great actress. I get annoyed. Like, if you're judging her entire filmography just on one movie, just go watch other things she's done. She won an Academy Award for Room that, like, honestly was deserved. She was amazing in that movie.
Whatever.
But their argument, who wrote this? A woman. Oh, please, for fuck's sake. I'm so tired of this. And then of me saying this, you're just internalized misogyny.
So, speaking of which, right? So this is the Daily Beast, too. And this was just a couple of months ago. Marvel's treating its female...
Pop counterculture. All James Cameron movies are woke. They are. Terminator 2, Sarah Connor has this whole thing about only women know how to create life. Men only know how to take life. James Cameron gets pretty fucking woke, and his movies make fucking bank.
Female heroes like garbage. This one was from a couple of years ago. Captain Marvel and Marvel's long history of woman.
Mikael, next time I stream, it's a possibility I'll stream on Sunday. Probably not, but I might stream on Tuesday. I don't know if I'll stream on Sunday. I'll probably have stuff to catch up on Sunday. But I'll almost certainly stream on Tuesday.
Problems. So
And they're all written. These were written by women trying to be like, we're just mad because those are our heroes, Slay Queen. And it's like, but they were shitty characters. I'm sorry. The movies didn't do well because they weren't very good.
So let the defense begin. We're going to see a decline in the MCU because people had a connection, like you said, to those characters.
400 million in less than a week. Just, yeah, that's a hell of a decline. They're hurting right now, right?
Regardless of whether or not they're male or female, people had a connection to those characters. People were connected to Natasha as, the Black Widow. And
well, Scarlett Johansson's not going to play the role forever, so they need to look for ways to fucking move on.
You can't just, bring her sister in and be like, it's another Black Widow.
Oh, fun fact. Yes, they can. Because that's exactly what they did. And Yelena is actually not a bad character. I enjoy what I've seen of Yelena so far. She's a Black Widow, but she's definitely a different character than Natasha. I like what they've done with her.
Yeah.
It's like, what the frick is going on here? And we're going to see a drop-off, for sure. Now,
we're going to see a drop-off for multiple reasons, but that's not going to help.
No.
Listen, we're not going to bring up the fact that, the latest MCU project just made massive fucking bank. We're not going to talk about that. We're just going to say it's all going to fail. Even though it's making bank. It's going to fail, guys. Don't look at the fucking facts. Those facts lie to you. Those facts have a woke agenda. Jesus Christ.
This definitely does not help. So, the rumor is they're supposed to be building the Secret Wars, which might actually have, everybody come back. But I think at that point, people are going to who gives a shit?
Well, they're talking about, this isn't until 2025 either. I mean...
2026.
2026. Okay, well, I knew it was something like that.
So we're talking 4 years.
Nobody's going to care. I mean, it's like, people are just already burnt out. Just stop.
Stop it. Just stop it.
Okay, so if you guys are burnt out, stop talking about it. Why are you talking about it? If you're burnt out, stop fucking talking about it. Holy shit.
Stop. Whatever you're doing right now, stop it. Maybe Bob Chapek will stop it. Be like, what are we doing, guys? We
Because
gotta
we're
make
spending
money.
too much money.
Yeah, what are we doing? We made 400 billion in less than a week. What are we doing? We need to make less. I don't like this insane amount of money we're making. We need to fuck this up, guys. I just don't like making money. It sucks.
Yeah, is it cheaper for us to just throw a whole bunch of money at Robert Downey Jr. to come back and try to fix this thing? I mean, it might be. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Just more anti-woke stuff. There's not even facts to back up the shit they're saying. They're just, let me say, random fucking shit that doesn't even have a basis in reality. It's insane. It's insane. That video was obnoxious. I haven't done Clownfish TV in a while. That was actually a bit more entertaining than they've been, mostly because I had lots of stuff to shoot off on, and their whole, obviously they didn't say go woke, go broke, because obviously that saying doesn't mean anything, because so far going woke has been getting bank. See why I mentioned that? But yeah, no, that video sucked. There's definitely a lot to launch off on that one. So that was a fun one.
They think order and chaos are somehow opposites and try to control what won't be.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt.